Good evening, friends. I'm audible. Just quickly check with all of you guys. Good evening, all. Audible to you guys. Yes, able to hear. Good evening to you. Mr. Pravat, yes, good evening to you. Thank you guys for the wishes. All right. Yesterday, we stopped at interviews, especially some of the commonly asked questions that we have, responded. I've given you a lot of information about even situation-based questions and all that. Yeah. Good evening to all of you guys, once for all. Okay. Thanks for your wishes still. So slowly, I'll slightly extend this particular session because there are few more frequently asked questions which can be asked. I want you guys to be fully equipped as to how best you can deal with those and all that. Okay. Having said this, how about this question, my friends? What is your expected salary? What should be a best answer for this particular question, my friends? What is your expected salary? They'll ask you. I think the problem is still there a little because since morning I never had it. Now I'm having this particular issue again. Still, can you guys let me know? Am I audible to all of you guys? Thank you, Zara. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to double check with you guys. I did ask you all a question. What is your expected salary? What do you think is the best answer for this particular question? Yeah. Who can try your answer here? What's your expected salary? Youngsters, come on. Somebody give it a try, guys. What is your expected salary? How best do you think you can answer that? Who can answer that? The salary discussions like this can happen. What's your expected salary? What do you think can be the best answer that you guys can provide, which can be so satisfying for the HR? Nadeem says 4 to 5 lakhs per annum. Okay. How about others? Try to express your answers, my dear friends. Come on, let's be more interactive. Yes, my dear youngsters, come on. Prachi also feels okay around 4 to 5 lakhs per annum. Zara says 7 L, I mean sorry, 9 LPA. Okay. Any others wants to still give your opinion on it? Your answer upon it? Because this question looks so innocent sort of a question. Okay. It looks so innocent sort of a question. What is your expected salary and all that? It isn't innocent, my dear guys. Okay. It isn't innocent. Okay. This question is to check how well informed are you? How well informed are you? I call it as a trap question. To check Q is missing, I'll feel these kind of questions are trap questions. This is to trap you guys, okay, in an innocent manner. They'll ask some questions to trap you. Okay, listen to me, guys. If this question is raised upon you being a fresher, I don't want you guys to give any numbers. Listen to me. Don't give any numbers, guys. Like 4 LPA, 7 LPA. No, don't give any numbers. No, don't give it. Okay? Don't give any numbers at all. All right. And I want you guys to cautiously okay, uh, tackle this particular question. And the reason why I'm asking you not to give any numbers is that, okay, first I'll let you know, and I'll give you the right answer in a while. Is my difference? They want to check how matured are you with your approach and all that. Indirectly, they test that, okay. And listen, my friends, no matter whatever numbers you come up with for a fresher, okay, they have already a predetermined number, predetermined, okay, number, which the management already had a discussion, got an approval, and then they come out, okay, for the interviews and all that. Okay. So that means this number is very well thought about it, and it's going to be equal for all. Am I clear? Equal for all freshers. I repeat what I said. Equal for all freshers. That's the reality, guys. Okay. See, like if I'm picking up somebody from Bangalore, somebody from Hyderabad, okay, for the same organization at a fresher level, okay, both are, let's say, cities. Listen to me carefully. Both are cities, okay, and in both these cities, okay, we've looked into all components in terms of rental, everything would have been looked into it. And still, okay, a common number across India is what they will prefer. You check it out, my friends, all the major companies, you check out TCS, you check out IBM, you check out CTS, you check out even L&T. Many big companies, for freshers, they have a standard pay. Standard pay is what I'm saying. Standard pay. Okay, across India. So no matter how big a number, how any number that you bring it up, they have the best numbers, not you. Don't take me wrong. They have the best numbers, and more or less you'll have to go with those numbers. Don't take me wrong. This is a reality I'm talking to you guys, and I really want you to pay attention. So the best answer for this particular question is you should boldly answer. I'll go with industry standard salary package. Salary package. This is the best answer, guys. Don't give them any numbers. Go ahead with this answer. I'll go with industry standard salary package. This should be your first answer. The next best answer should be like I'll go with organizations salary policy. Salary policy. Simple logic. Now you don't have to really bother about the numbers. If I say this number, will they accept or not? Okay. These are the two best answers that I really want you to focus and let them know about it, please. Because this is a well thought over answer. Please understand why it's been done this way, because already have a predetermined number and they can't, vary for different, freshers. They have a standard package for all the freshers. Okay. Just want to let you know, my dear friends, please take it serious about this. Okay. And similarly, they'll ask you another question. Are you willing to relocate? Okay. Are you willing to relocate or to work in any shifts? Okay. Another question can be like this. Are you willing to relocate? Are you willing to do shifts? Okay. Now, what would be best answer, guys, for this question? Don't take me wrong, guys. I'll take up the lead now. For these kind of questions, the answer should be, my dear friends, don't take me wrong. The answer should be a default yes. A default yes. Why? I'll tell you, my dear friends. I've seen offer letters of multiple companies. Okay. And they always have a particular, let's say, principle that all employees, when needed, have to be open to relocate and to work in any shift as per the organization's requirement. It'll always be there. You can check it out, my youngsters. It'll always be there with any company. So nothing you can't say, it depends on salary and company. Okay, for example, if you're doing a night shift, there can be a night shift allowance which can be paid extra. Okay. So rather, every other company, guys, reputed companies, they don't play with let's say, salary components like night shift allowance should be there when people work on night shifts. Okay. When people work in client's place, I'll tell you guys, when people work in client's place, okay, they'll be getting paid extra. For example, if they're working in America, they'll be getting package of American salary standard, not Indian salary standard. Okay, all these are inbuilt as a system, my youngsters. Okay, and the shift part, again, my friends, don't have so much of confusion. Okay, listen, if you want to work in MNCs, that's multinational company, guys, you guys should be open enough to work in any shift. Okay, because if there's a requirement of let's say, if the clients are in the US, as I told you earlier, okay, the other day, okay, they're like behind us, we are ahead of them and all that. So there's a gap of 10 to 12, 13 hours. Okay, because America has four different time zones, not one. India has only one. We have only one time zone. There are four different time zones. Okay, if it is Australia, I think we are ahead of Australia for 5 hours or so. Okay, so we have to work depending on the client's projects and requirements. So by default, your answer should be no. The next major question, my friends. This time, I really expect an answer from I mean, many of you guys. Okay, the question is, can you sign a bond? Can you sign a bond? What should be best answer? Will you say yes or no? 2 years bond, 3 years bond. People will ask for it. A year at least. What's the answer, guys? Will you sign a bond with us? Zara immediately says yes. Suprivat also feels yes. How about others, my dear friends? I really want you all to be more encourative out here. Please come out with the answers, guys. Come on. Nadeem says yes for 1 year. After 1 year, you'll leave the company, isn't it, Nadeem? That's how they take it. Okay. Yeah, Tejashwini also feels yes. I'll agree, my dear friends. Your default answer should be yes again for this question. Deshna, there are 15 classes, contact classes. Deshna Loda, through you, I'll let you know. Okay. So, you know what is today's day? What is it day 11 or 12? Deshna. Since you raised this question, I'll immediately, yeah, this is day 12. So, three more sessions to go. Yeah, three more sessions to go. Yes, yes, Deshna. So, three more sessions. That means being Wednesday, we will have to work on Thursday, Friday, and Monday will be the end of the day. I mean, end of the program, guys. Fine, I'll move on. So the default answer should be yes, yes, as many feels that way. But I know for sure you guys are not that happy to sign a bond. Yes or no? Now tell me yes or no. Are you happy to sign a bond? Yeah, Sushmita will take care of that, Deshna. Don't worry. Okay. So, Sushmita will let you know about the certification and all that. Okay. Yes, once you've done your entire course, you'll be getting it. That is depending on the time period. Okay. Guys, still pay attention depending on your time on the time period. It is Zara, what if it's 2 years? I'm sorry, with the S at the end. Yeah. What if the bond is for 2 years, Zara? Then yes. No matter what, guys, any bond, okay, feel comfortable, guys. First of all, feel comfortable. Okay. You can't have bonded laborers in our country, guys. Listen to me. You can't have bonded laborers according to law. First of all, get to know the law first. Okay. It is a strict no. You can't bind a particular employee for so long. Okay. Now let's understand this, my dear friends. Okay. Let's say you signed up a bond. God forbid, nothing should happen to you guys. But let's say something happened. Okay. And let's say psychologically you're not, let's say good enough to work. Now, if you go work with psychological disorders, I know for sure your work output will not be efficient. It will not be efficient. Now, thereby, automatically this bond of 2 years, let's say you joining after a company for 6 months, you're such a problem or any physical problem, okay? They can't expect you to continue to work. Am I clear? Because your work efficiency is so low. Now, there's a breakage of bond can happen. They themselves say, "Come on, fine. We understand you have some medical issues. If you want, you can take a break from the work and all that." They'll come forward and let you know. So their own bonds, which is valid for 2 years, now they curtail it and cut short it for 6 months or 7 months. Okay. The logic is okay. Definitely, my friends, there are ways to even cut short a bond indirectly if you're smart, if you can critically think, if you can provide, listen to me, a medical certificate that you can't continue working in night shifts and all that, that is bothering your health, your health deteriorated, and you are fainting often. Do you understand your levels of, let's say, critical body point? Body condition is so bad and all that. You can't extend your employment then. Okay, automatically with that proof, you can still opt out of the bond. Still don't have to pay anything extra because it's a medical, let's say, point out here, which is very strong that you can't work continuously and all that. Okay, thereby even if the the company later on, if they file a case on you, if you have that medical certificate and you can strongly argue, okay, you cannot pay any penalty at all. Don't take me wrong. One of my friend way back when he wanted to break a bond, okay, he did, he sent some useless, let's say, attachments and mails to the client directly, and the client immediately asked, okay, him to remove him from the project and all that. Okay, that particular person out of the project and all that. This is way back. I'm talking about way back. Though it sounds silly, he got a better job. In fact, he requested the management to relieve him off and all that. They said, no, you have to serve for some more time and all that. Okay. But he did not do it. So he did cheekily this way and he was removed out of the project first. And then later on, he was not doing efficient work with another project where he was immediately replaced. And they knew this guy is not up to the mark now. He's planning something else. And the company relieved him off from the work as well. So, guys, so don't worry about the bond part. Many of you as freshers will be having a lot of questions on it. So don't bother about it at all. Okay. So guys, I'll move on. Okay. Situation based star, the yesterday that we discussed upon star. Now I'll ask this to you guys straight. Okay. Let's say you work as, um, this is a situation based question. Let's say you work as, mm, okay, I have a couple of questions coming in my mind. Okay. You work as a boat rider. I want you guys to pay attention. You work as a boat rider for a company, and in that boat, you can. Let's say if something goes wrong, only two can survive. Only two can survive if the boat collapses and all that. Kindly pay attention. And this question is not out of the box question. Please understand, this question is not out of the box question. This question is to check your thinking levels in terms of decision making. I'm making it very, very clear. Oh, best you can take decisions. Okay. Now, you have to survive because it's your life. Number one. That's the bottom line. Okay. You'll have to survive. That's the bottom line. That's the first key. Okay. You'll have to survive because it's your life. It's so precious. I'm sorry. You'll have to survive. And you have one life jacket, which you can give it to one more survivor. You can make another person to survive. You have one life jacket available with you. Now you have two passengers on your boat. I want you to pay attention. You have two passengers on your boat. One is um one is Dr. APJ. Okay, Dr. APJ sir. Okay, and the other one is a newborn baby. I know it's hypothetical, but still keep it that way. A newborn baby. Whom do you survive? Or whom do you save? That's the question. Situation-based question. What's the best answer? I want you youngsters to come out with your answers here. Everybody, please give it a try, my friends. Come on. This is such a simple question. It's a situation-based question and all that, okay? Prabalika says newborn baby immediately. Baby says Zara. Guys, please understand the assumption is APJ still alive. Don't think he's died. No, so that's why blah blah blah. Don't give you that reason. Okay. So fine, newborn baby is what I'm getting as an answer so far. APJ because it's important to country, says Nadeem. Others, I mean, have your opinion, guys. Be bold, youngsters. Come on. Come out of that. Guys, don't be shy. Don't feel bad. Okay. Sindhu says newborn baby. I'm observing all your answers, my dear friends. Please, quick, get it done. What I'm trying to make you is, I want you all to decide between two options, okay? And do a good job, my dear friends. Come on. Some more answers, please. Quick, my youngsters. Come on. There are so many people logged in. Come on, youngsters. I want you all to give your answers. Will you save the newborn baby or Dr. APJ? Okay, out of four answers that I received so far, yeah, five now. Riddhi also responded as newborn baby. Okay, 80% of you guys are feeling yes, let's save the baby. Nadeem is the only person who has replied Dr. APJ. Okay. Now, the right answer for this question, my dear friends, is that, okay, before I answer that, okay, don't get carried away by emotions because it's all about taking decisions out here. Okay. And you have to be so practical when it comes to taking decisions. That's number one, my dear friends. Okay. Go with the value preposition. Go with the value preposition here. Okay. E is missing on the value front. Just take it that way, guys. Okay. Now, I think most of you who have determined the answer of newborn baby, you guys are carried away with an emotion. The sympathy is more towards the baby. Some of you may still argue. Nadeem, no, no, don't go away from the question premise. Okay, don't give a choice about you. Okay. Um, Nadeem, your life is precious to you and your family members, your near and dear ones. An unknown baby, don't take me wrong, I'm not a ruthless person. Try to understand. An unknown baby is an unknown baby. And you lose your life, okay, and you give a life to a baby. On what context, my dear? Remember of all the things that I said to you. Imagine the expectations, the way your parents raised you, and just because for another baby, is it affordable to lose, my dear? There you go. I know most of you will jump into the answer of Pravalika. Baby, because the baby can become greater than APJ, okay? Or better than APJ. Okay, I have a strong question to all of you guys. Try and name anyone who's as good as APJ, Dr. APJ, okay? Or I'll give you strong words, half as good as APJ. I'm being straightforward with this question, my friends. Don't take me wrong. I'm just straightly asking this question. Try and name somebody from our country who's as good as APJ. Look at his achievements, my dear friends. I think if he has about 36 doctorates on his name. Okay, 36 doctorates. Look at the kind of positions what he held. Chief scientist and an advisor. He led a lot of space research programs, PSLVs and all that. Check it out. Okay. And he was so responsible for Pokhran nuclear test. Okay. And I want you guys to observe before Pokhran nuclear test, after Pokhran 2 nuclear test, I think it happened in the year 1998. Okay. Look at India's development and growth after or post Pokhran 2. Okay. And he headed the entire project. Okay. And not just that. Okay. There are so many other achievements. He was the president of a country, ex-president, my dear guys. Second term was knocking at his door because of dirty politics. He did not went ahead with his presidency the second time. I said dirty presidentship. And imagine one more thing, my dear friends. After his presidency, he wanted to serve back to the student community, and he wanted to motivate and inspire students more. And imagine his death. Do you know where he died? Where he died, guys? That's the question I have for you. Where he died. It's such a noble death, I call it as. Can somebody answer this? Do you know where did APJ died? What he loves doing it, my friends. Pravalika says by giving speech on a college stage. Who can let me know the place where he gave that particular speech and he collapsed on the stage and died? Who can? I'm sure some of you must be knowing, my friends. Do you know which place he died? What he loves to do, he was connecting with the students there. Okay, that is a noble death in Shillong or Meghalaya, Beltany College. You're right, guys. You're right. Yeah, you're fine. Okay. Imagine, okay, what he loves to do as a profession, he was doing it up and he died on the stage. Okay. And that is a noble death, if you ask me. Okay. All these are, okay, the things which I gave about APJ. Now, Pravalika, you said the child can become better than or greater than APJ and all that. Right now, after his death, these many years, more than a decade, okay, we can't find anybody half or quarter as good as APJ. Try name someone. I did raise the question. Guys, try name someone who's as good as APJ. Corruptionless. I don't have to say this, my dear friends. Corruptionless. Hope you get me. Was absolutely corruptionless, widely loved across the world. Okay, not just in India. His birthday was celebrated as Science Day in Switzerland, a developed economy. Look at the per capita income of Switzerland, and they have given this particular, okay, let's say privilege to his birthday as Science Day. It's been celebrated in Switzerland. Okay, and I don't know how many of you know this. I'll give you one last information about him. Um, okay, this is not to hurt. I mean, many of you wouldn't have heard of this one, but since I'm into more into data analytics and all that as well, so I came to know about a particular data where an information that um, I'm not going to pick a name, but then you will be aware. Okay, the only woman president who became president for India when she left Rashtrapati Bhavan. Okay, I think I don't want to say this, but then I can't control. She literally took a lot of belongings of Rashtrapati Bhavan in a container, okay, and she left that way. And whenever she used to go for any official trips abroad, she'll carry her entire family up until grandchildren as well. 14, 15 people used to travel along with her. Imagine one person traveling abroad, staying in abroad, eating in abroad. Do you understand the entire tour? Imagine 14, 15 people going, and how much of our tax money was, spent on her family members during such so many, president's trip that she took up. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to state this, but I have to let you know, my dear friends. And but now look at APJ, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's tenure. Okay. Never had any relatives traveling for anything at all. Okay. I'm serious about this, guys. I want you all to observe all these facts. Okay. Now tell me, guys, do you find anybody as good as or half good as APJ, sir? Be honest. Tell me yes or no. No. That's the reality. Nadeem is backing up his logic, and Supravat now agrees. Pravalika now agrees. Okay. Now, the real logic is, my difference between the newborn baby and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, sir. Abdul Kalam sir has greater values, greater importance. Okay. When you look at our country. And if he happens to live for extra any number of years, that's going to be okay. He can inspire a lot of youth. Now, tell me which leader is really, really you can admire, guys, these days. Hardly any. Don't take me wrong. Okay, I'm literally seeing, my reference. The number of leaders in our country had gone down bad. I'm serious about this. Okay, some years back, or during British era. Yeah, that's what the problem, Nadeem. Okay, we're not having greater leaders these days compared to the older generations and all that. Okay, I mean, in the last, let's say, 100, 70, 80, 100 years back, okay, we had so many lovely leaders, selfless leaders. Now these days, many leaders are so corrupted, okay, and they are not that clean and all that. Okay, so anyways, please remember, not even a single one. That's the reality. Okay, so let's move on. So understand, for that particular question, the right answer is definitely Dr. APJ. Now I'll move on to the next question. I'm testing your levels again. Now this time, I know you'll be a little dicey, but be careful. Think better and answer the best. You're the same boat. I mean, you ride the boat. You're the boat rider. On one hand, you have Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. On the other hand, your company's CEO. Whom do you save? Your own company's CEO. And on the other hand, you have APJ Abdul Kalam, sir. Whom do you save, guys? Quick answer. Please understand, this is a situation-based question. You'll have to understand the value there. Okay. Don't take emotional decision. I want you to take, okay, value propositioned decision. Who's got more value? Now I know you'll be a bit more confused now, but still I want you to find an answer. CEO or Dr. APJ? Come on, guys. I want you all to answer now. Quick. Nadeem, I'm interested to know your answer as well. Suprabhat, Nadeem still says APJ. Others, come on, chip in with your answers, guys. Quick. Anxious. Come on. I can only see only two of them answered so far. Please take your call, guys. Quick. Let's try to understand. As for the previous question, in this age, imagine a newborn baby, okay, with all the competition in life. Listen to me, okay? With all these digital distractions and so many things. Imagine a newborn baby becoming a size of APJ Abdul Kalam, sir, is a bit unlikely these days, my dear guys. Don't take me wrong. I'm not being brutally negative here, but I'm so practical towards my approach. Yeah, guys, come on. APJ, sir, or CEO? How about others, my dear friends? Prabalika, what's the answer? Quick. APJ. Zara says APJ. APJ. I liked so far whatever the answer I got it, my dear friends. I liked it. You guys are still fine. Guys, CEO is just a position which can be replaceable. Am I clear? By another person. Can always find a CEO, okay, who can be replaced. It's any day you'll find that, my dear friends. Okay. So, whereas APJ sir is once in a century sort of a person. Please understand, once in a century sort of a person. So your answer of picking him is the right answer. Yes, Suprabhat. Yeah, that's right. Fine. Now I'm going to put you in trouble. Check out my next question. Same, you're the boat rider. This time, Dr. APJ on one side versus mother. Your mother. Whom do you save? Okay. Be smart. APJ or your mother? For everybody. Dr. APJ or your mother? What's your answer, guys? Pravalika immediately says mother, mother. Supravat says mother. Nadeem also says mother. Wonderful. Mother. Again, Sharanu, Zara. Very good. I'm saying very good. Okay. For you, my dear guys, for anyone, a mother is a mother is a mother, no matter whoever cannot replace your mother. Am I clear? So perfect answering so far. The daddy of all question is coming up for you guys. You're still the same boat rider. Yeah. Yeah. I want you to observe. Yes, Nadeem, agreed. Okay. You're still the boat rider. Now I want you guys to understand this particular situation. All of you are married and you have a child, let's say 2 years old, whatever. Okay. And on one side, you have for all the okay, ladies first. For all the ladies out there, you can on one side you have your spouse or husband, on the other side your father. For all the men out here, on one side you have your wife, on the other side your mother. Okay, whom do you save now? Whom do you save? I hope I'm clear with my question. I'm checking your thinking levels. I'm checking your emotions. And I still want you to answer to this question. Hey, you don't have another option. You don't jump into the water. You don't escape. Okay? So no escapism here. Choose between those two choices. I've given for men a particular choice over there. And for women, yes, there's a particular choice I've given you. Father says Zara. Nadeem says father. Okay. Come on to the answer, guys. Nadeem, you're a man, right? Guys, for men, listen to me. For men, it's either wife or mother. I know I'm so brutal here. Don't take me wrong. For women out there, your choice is okay, husband, yeah, versus or husband or father. Yeah, choose your answer, guys. I've seen Pravalika's response as well. Okay, Nadine says mother. Supravat, no 50-50. You can't cut them off, isn't it? Choose there, Supravat. Sharanu says mother. So I reckon, yeah, that there's definitely a lot of confusion there, isn't it? It's very tough to decide there. I know, but it's all about decision making, guys. Come on, guys. Few more. I'd like to listen, I mean, observe from others as well. How about Riddhi? Riddhi, you haven't answered yet. Others also can chip in with your answers, guys. Come on. Supravat says father. Okay. I've observed all your answers so far, my dear friends. Okay. Um, First of all, my dear guys, men who chose men who chose mother. I'm dealing them first. Don't take me wrong, guys. You guys are a bit naughty. Okay. You guys are thinking about remarrying. Maybe. Okay. Remarrying another lady, I mean, another person in your life and all that. Okay. So you're choosing mother. So that's what I'm observing behind your choosing. No, Nadim. Let's be practical. Okay. Yeah. Nadim says no. Why? You've chosen to choose your one of your parent, isn't it? I hope it's mother. For Nadeem, I'm just giving this answer. Nadeem, have you chosen your mother over wife? Yes. You've chosen your mother over your life partner. That is your wife. Okay. Uh, Fine. I was trying to look behind your logic of answering. Okay. Now let's be practical, my friends. Between your parents, for anybody out here, between your parents and your spouse, okay, listen to me, guys. All the spouses are called as life partners. Listen to me. Life partners. Okay. And the logic out here is that who can live longer with you? Who can live longer with you guys? Imagine if you're married and you have a child of 2 years old, you should be around the age of early 30s, I would say, early 30s, men mostly, okay? And women late 20s and all that, okay? By the time your parents are around 55 to 60s, maybe, okay? 60s. I want you guys to understand practicality of it, okay? An average life expectancy of Indians is, my friends, right now, it's around 67. Okay, I'm just rounding off with a good number. It's actually 66 point something. I'm giving you the average is 67. Okay, this is something you'll have to bite the reality out here, guys. Okay, be more practical. And the best person, if they're alive for you guys, is your life partner, not your parents. Don't take me wrong, not your parents. This is practical answer. It's not emotionally driven. Yeah, spouse. That's the right answer, guys. Okay. That's why I still say, my dear friends, don't carried away by your emotions. Check your emotions. Okay. Guys, I'll always let my students know people can play with your emotions. Don't let your emotions to play it over. When you are emotionally threatened, that is where I want your brain to think better, guys. Don't get emotionally charged up. Think. Okay, sometimes you'll see on the road, my dear guys, a beggar begging, women, okay, a young mother with a child begging, showing, okay, I have to feed my child and all that. Okay. How many of you guys observe those kind of scenario that you have seen? That particular child, okay, always sleeping, no matter whenever that you guys, most of the times that you witnessed, always sleeping. That particular child was made sedative by injecting, okay, a sedative to remain sleepy. Do you understand? And such beggars are pretending, okay. You know what, my dear guys, don't take me wrong. Such children, what they carry is not their own child. Yes, it's not their own child. It is a borrowed child. They pay every day a particular sum of money for renting a child. All these things are happening. And when people are coming out with emotions, they try to make you to emotionally get triggered and try to make you guys take extra money from you guys. That's the whole idea. Okay. Now, hence what I'm saying, guys, whatever it is, don't get emotionally charged up that easily. And when somebody is approaching you, triggering your emotions, try not to. Okay. And deal it smart. That's what I would like to say, my dear friends. Practically so smart. Okay. So yes, the right answer is, my dear friends. You also forgotten another fact. Imagine you'll have to raise your child without your life partner. Raising a child can be so tedious. Single child, okay, let's say, I call it a single child syndrome, are so pampered and they are so aggressive. Do you all know this, my dear friends? So many things are there. I'm just letting you know these are the real factors that I'm considering. To come to a conclusion, your life partner, the spouse, is the best answer out there. Guys, it's not that I'm heartless, but here we'll have to, I mean, this whole questions are to check your emotions and your decision making accordingly, my dear friends. That's it. Nothing much. Hope you guys can understand these answers and appreciate it as well. So I'm moving on, my dear friends. Now, the next thing, what we're slowly getting into right now is I'm going to get into a bit of technical, okay, sort of training. When you talk about technical training in general, it has to be computer driven. Okay, it has to be computers. Okay, um, my dear friends, IT based computers and all of that. Okay, today we'll get into the basics of computers, operating system, software life cycle, software development life cycle, let's say networking, all that. We'll look into it in a quick manner, my dear friends. Okay, computers, my dear friends. I'll ask you a strange question to start with. You all heard about supercomputers? Tell me yes or no. Have you ever heard about supercomputers, guys? Thank you. Thank you for quick responses there. Yeah. And I'm going to ask you a question on it. Okay. Which Indian company bought supercomputer for the first time in India? Okay. Which Indian company bought supercomputer first in India? Who can answer that? Many wouldn't even thought about that company, but when you probably if you Google, you'll know it. But still, I'm letting you know. Who can give a try, guys? Which Indian company could have bought a supercomputer first? It's not even, I can tell you, not even ISRO. Okay. Which company do you think could have bought a supercomputer first in India? Give a good answer, guys, quick. Yeah, I know most of you have Googled up to get this answer. I know for sure. Okay. Definitely, it is Asian Paints, my friends. Um, for an Indian company, I want you to observe, for an Indian company, the way they advanced in their business is they've always been, listen to me, okay, technically enabled company. I call it that way. Why, my dear friends? This happened in the late 70s, if I'm so right, or early 80s max. Asian Paints bought supercomputer first. That was a big news back then, my dear friends. Very big news. None of the government agencies bought. None of the banks bought. Okay, none of the major companies bought. No Tatas, no Reliance back then as well. Okay, no Birlas. Nobody bought that. But Asian Paints bought it. That raised an eyebrow. The kind of data what Asian Paints has in terms of color combinations, how it has to be prepared, and all that, all such documentations, okay, was handled in a laborious manner. Laborious means highly labor intensive. Okay, a lot of effort to be taken to arrive at some new colors, new texture, and all that. Okay, and this is where they felt they needed to have a supercomputer where they should store in all data about the colors, every other data about the organization, everything they want to store it safe, and they wanted to get a quick response, my friends. For example, if they want to work out on some new pastel colors, it will take months together, some weeks together to get an output, my dear friends, which is, listen, a time consuming process can have its own negative, okay, impact on the business. Okay. So that's the reason, okay, they want to get everything in a quick manner. So they went ahead with a supercomputer. Okay. That's a rarity. And understand now the investment, it's not an expense. Don't see it as an expense. Okay. They have invested on the company's future for the well-being of the company. Even now, after these many years, my dear friends, still Asian Paints is number one. Do you all agree? You check other competitors, they're not even near to Asian Paints. They're not even near to Asian Paints. Check it out, guys. For several years, decades together, Asian Paints is ruling as number one, okay, for so many years, just because they keep advancing themselves a lot. Okay. There were foreign companies had a tie-up, Berger Paints, etc., etc., and all that. Okay. Still, Asian Paints cannot be. toppled as number one, still rocking up there. So the importance of moving ahead with IT, I said I'm talking about information technology along with computers. You just can't stop it, my dear friends. Okay. I'll give you another question, slightly away from the context a little, but to make you guys to understand a very important aspect. Okay. You all heard about a company called as Kodak? Tell me yes or no, based on which I'll give you an information. Yeah, Supravati immediately says yes. It is not Kotak, which is an Indian financial company. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Indian financial company. Nowadays, it's a fintech company, it's a bank and all that. Okay, I'm not talking about Kotak. I'm talking about Kodak. So I'm typing it in caps. Okay, I want you to listen. This company was at least 120 years old, more than 100 years easily, was the industry leader. Okay. You guys may not be aware. They were into, I mean, some of you may, they were into manufacturing film rolls. Okay. And photographic film rolls and all that. And they were into manufacturing cameras. These are the two major business areas that they were into. Okay. But in these two areas, not just camera alone, Suprava, their major business is, okay, film rolls to capture moments, to capture photos, to capture videos. Okay, they were number one, easily number one, and nobody came so close. Konica, I don't know, you guys wouldn't have heard about it. Konica was next to Kodak. Okay, so pay attention now. They were like, they were there across the world, hardly any competitors, I told you. Okay, and their revenues were so high. I think by 1997, their revenue stood at around $20 billion plus. $20 billion plus back then. It's a huge money back then. Okay. And by 2009, my dear friends, the company went down, gone. They filed for bankruptcy. Okay. The company is gone. They filed for bankruptcy. Okay. How soon, my dear friends? How soon? In about 10, 11 years, the company wasn't there. More than 20,000 plus employees were working across the world. All of them lost jobs. Only one reason, my friends. One major reason. They've not upgraded with technology. That's it. They've not upgraded with technology. Which technology, guys, replaced film rolls? Can you all answer? Which technology, okay, eclipsed or overtook film rolls? Which technology came into picture? Can you guys answer quick? Shall I get some good answer, guys? Film rolls were replaced by what? Can I get a good response, my guys? Come on. Imagine, guys, those back in those days, there were film rolls to be loaded onto camera. In fact, even movies, they were making movies on those days on those film rolls. Have you seen a lot of rolls, like film rolls? They'll roll it up and they'll keep it in an aluminum case and all that. Movies were released on that and all that. In fact, it is called as Eastman Kodak film rolls. That's how they call it. As even the color movies back in those days, they'll say, okay, it's Eastman color movie and all that. Eastman is a founder of Kodak. Okay, so now which technology replaced film rolls, guys? You tell me, guys. Memory cards or sticks? Am I clear? Or memory sticks? Until now, my dear guys, until now, Kodak thought the customers will be so loyal back to them. But customers wants convenience. That is something many companies won't understand. I repeat what I said. Customers want convenience. Okay. And Kodak felt since our customers are used to buying film rolls, they'll continue to do so. But there are restrictions with their old technology. You can't delete and reload again. Do you understand? You can't do that with a film roll. And you have restriction, only 36 pictures you can take in a film roll. Quite expensive as well. Okay. And you'll have to process it in a lab and get it exposed properly. If you don't expose it properly, everything is gone. So the safety, security, all of these, okay, the customers preferred a memory stick or a memory card over a film roll. And that company remained just like that. Okay. They thought the customers will get back, get back. They never got back. They moved on for convenience. Okay. Um, the same thing you can apply it for Nokia. Okay, I want you guys to observe for Nokia. Remember, Nokia's had always these button phones and all that big time. Even their smartphones had buttons and all that. Now think about even BlackBerry. Okay, these two companies could not able to survive. Okay, listen, just because they were a bit adamant in keeping their good old technology. Okay, I'm serious about this. I'm talking about button-based phones. Even in a smartphones, they had buttons and all that. Okay, and that costed their business, my dear guys. Listen to this one. Why they've not upgraded their technology? That's the reality. Guys can't ignore technological advancements. Keep this in mind, my dear guys. At large, this is the picture. Guys, the world is moving fast towards in terms of technology. Keep yourselves upgraded, move towards the latest upgrades in the technology and all that. Okay. Um, guys, I gave you, okay, I'll give you a good impact on this one, my friend. I mean, a good information about it. I think way back 2006 or 5, when I still remember it was Steve Jobs. He introduced, my guys, he introduced to the world. Okay, he took all the current competitors, showed the latest phones of the current competitors to the, I mean, he was giving a presentation to the entire world back then. He was introducing his product. Not many business owners have the guts to introduce their own products. You will not see Bill Gates doing it. Okay, not many people will do it. Always they'll have some models to, introduce the, or somebody, a famous personality to introduce their products. It is always, I mean, whenever Steve Jobs was alive, whatever the products, he launched his products. iPhones, guys, created cult, I'm telling you. I'll tell you why. The first time, okay, after showing all the current competitive models from BlackBerry to Nokia, he showed everything, Motorola's, everything. He showed, and he showed iPhones. No keypad, no keys at all, touch interface. And he challenged the world. The world will move towards that. Okay. And it was a bold statement that he made, and he proved that is a reality. Okay. And again, I'm telling you, customers preferred convenience over loyalty here. That's the reality, my youngsters. And those companies like Samsung's and others, my friends, they went ahead with the newer upgraded technology. Okay. And they survived better. And look what happened to Nokia. Look what happened to BlackBerry. Literally not in the market. Do you all agree? Guys, do you all understand me or not? Tell me yes or no, guys. So much of, okay, pause from your end, guys. Can you guys understand my logic? Tell me yes or no. Yeah, Suprabhat says yes. How about others, my dear friends? There are so many people logged in. I really want you all to understand what is getting taught to you guys. Yeah, Pooja says yes, yes, yes. Good on you guys. So the bottom line is this, my dear friends. Keep upgrading yourselves. Okay. Right now, AI is happening. Don't ignore. I'm telling you guys, don't ignore. Give a fair thought. Okay. Now moving into guys. Computers. My dear youngsters. Who's the father of computers, guys? Quick answer. Who's the father of a computer? Father of computer. Quick answer. I'm sure many of you will know the answer. Charles Babbage says Suprabhat. That's the right answer. Charles Babbage. Good on you guys. Quick answers. Thank you so much. Okay. See, back in those days, my friends, a normal computer required around 1800 square feet of space to be occupied for a normal computer. Okay. Back in days. Okay. Imagine now we have handheld devices and all that. Okay. Please understand, look at the evolution of computers, my friends. Right from calculators, okay, computers evolved, okay. Generations of computers have happened. I'm not going to go so deep into it. You guys must be aware about it. okay, from laptops to tablets to phablets. It just evolved like anything. Look at the size got reduced from a huge working area. Do you understand? Imagine 1800 square feet, okay, for a full-fledged computer to be installed. Okay, look at the wiring, my dear friends. How much of wiring had gone into picture? Now, nanotechnology came slowly into picture. All the components shrunk up, shrinked a lot. Please understand. Okay, shrunk. So we can have a handheld device these days. Okay, so so youngsters, so computers evolved over the period of time. So let's keep it that way. Okay, so I'll pick up a PowerPoint quickly for you guys. Okay, so let me check where it is. Let's understand some basic computer fundamentals. I'll share it with you people. Just a moment. Okay, I'll just quickly run through this particular simple slide, my friends. Okay, just have a look at it. Okay, guys, can you all able to see this? See my screen? Just a moment, let me check. Yeah, now I've shared the screen for you guys. So yes, quickly we'll get into it. Okay, please have a quick look at this, my youngsters. So if you ask me, if I could have asked you what is a computer, many will have their own answers over there. People say it's an electronic device, a highly advanced electronic device, and all that. Okay, and earlier, listen, my friends, it was used to store data, process data, and all that. Okay, now things are going so fast. Okay, so let's try to understand. Computer, okay, is an advanced electronic device, no doubt. It's an electronic device, not an electrical device. Please understand this first. Okay, so that takes raw data as input from the user and processes these data under the control of set of instructions. That is called as a program, as you must be aware, and gives the result. That's the output what we get. Okay, um, and we can also save this particular data for the future reference and all that. It can process both numerical, non-numerical, that is logical to arithmetic, any kind of calculations. And it has four basic functions, my dear friends. I want you to listen to this one. Number one, input. This function wherein we feed in data. Okay. The next one, processing it, where we process the data with softwares and all that. Okay, and we produce an output based on which, okay, that is always on the output can be seen on the screen and all that. And number four, my dear friends, okay, we can store a lot of data. Okay, storage. These are the four basic functions of a computer. So that's what is given out there. So I'm moving to the next slide. Just look into the major parts of a computer right now. um Okay, I'll go with number one. Number one, mouse. Where these days people, okay, move around, navigate through mouse and all that. Keyboard, essential part. These are all hardwares again. Let's have a fair look into it. Scanners. Okay, yes, it's getting advanced with apps on scanners and all that. Just still have a look at it. Digital camera. We have inbuilt camera these days and all that. Web camera is almost literally going out of the way, and inbuilt cameras are taking it over and all that. Joysticks, guys, slowly it's also gone out. We use arrow keys and all that instead of joy keys and all that, joysticks and all that. And only for playing games these days, people still use joysticks a little. Okay, trackball. Okay, in certain computers, you'd see these trackballs, especially with HP, especially with IBM based computers. Okay, you'll find these trackballs and all that. Okay, touchpad or screen. Okay, a touchpad is a smaller version of a system and all that. Okay, a light pen. You call this S Pen for Samsungs, and we have all these digital pens which we can use it and all that. So that is being there. Barcode reader, scanner, and all that still be there. Microphones or headsets can be still used as extra parts and all that. Graphics tables. Yes, there are some screens where we can bring in and you can create graphics on a tablet and all that. So that's what it is. I'm moving on still. Still pay attention. Um, okay, this particular magnetic ink character can be a swiping machine sort of a thing. Okay, where it's majorly used in banks for processing data and all that. Okay, so optical mark reader are used to, okay, I don't know how many of you heard of this particular red colored sheet. They use it for you to answer based on questions, and that can be scanned and quickly I mean the marks can be tabulated and all of that. Okay, I don't know how it's called as, my dear friends. It's in reddish in color. Can you all see here? Just zoom up a little. I mean, I can't. Let me check. Oh, sorry, it went back a little. Okay, I'm moving back a little. Yeah. So over here, if you look at it, okay. So I forgot the name of it. I'm still trying to recollect that. It'll be the entire sheet will be written in reddish, fonts and all that. What is it called as, guys? Quick. Do you know the answer? Who knows the answer, guys? Quick, can you all answer this? OMR sheets, is it? It's called as OMR. Yeah, OMR sheet. Yeah, now I recollect. Yes, yes, yes. It's OMR sheet. It's called as OMR sheet. Okay. So we were just talking about it. Okay. So just pay attention, my youngsters. So these are all the components of a computer and all that. Okay. So youngsters, pay attention. And you guys could have seen this billing machines and all that. Okay. Billing machines. Okay. Magnetic card reader used in any shops these days, my dear friends. Literally. Have you guys seen a meme where even beggars can also take this and ask for, okay, credit money in their account and all that? Okay. These days, yeah, it's all there. So biometric devices, yeah, it's all still connected to a system. Please understand. The data is all input devices, I call it as. Okay. And we have Bluetooth. I mean, the next image under magnetic card reader, can you see? We call it as POS, point of sales. Listen to me, guys. POS is called as point of sales. You go to any, let's say, supermarket and all that. Okay, as they bill, okay, the total sum will be seen on the screen, and immediately swipe a card. Next to the screen there'll be a swiping area for cards to be swiped. Okay, and that gives an instant transaction can be made. Okay, so all such, quick way of processing can only be possible with computers, my dear friends. Okay, I'll move on. Okay, you have other devices these days, like, okay, devices that you have Bluetooth headsets. To these days we have so many AR, VR gadgets and all that. Still, it can be connected to a system and all that. Please remember. So the main unit is called as a CPU, as you guys know. The responsible for communications, my friends, and it controls everything. The devices, input to output, performs all that. Okay, and it receives, interprets, and definitely executes the instruction what the user's making and all that. So these are the output devices. Some of the output devices that we're going to see now are monitors, printers, projectors, inkjet printers, uh, lines and all that, laser-based printing machines, speakers, etc., my dear friends. Still, please observe. Storage devices. Earlier, I spoke about how Kodak failed in the business, my dear youngsters. I gave an answer about the storage device. That is a big difference. A memory stick, huge difference, my dear friends. It became portable as well. Please understand. Anybody can carry anywhere and all that. Okay. No need to go buy often a film roll. Now you tell me, guys, how come they also failed in camera business? Who can answer this? Who can answer this? How come? Okay, Kodak failed in camera business as well. In fact, I'll give you another good answer, a good info. Kodak is the first company to launch digital point and shoot camera. Point and shoot camera. Okay. First ever digital point and shoot camera was manufactured, delivered, used. Okay. Okay. It was given by Kodak. For kind of information. How they still lost it? Who can answer this? Come on, youngsters. I need some quick responses. I want you to realize the importance of system over here, guys. Computers majorly. How come they lost even in their camera business? How? Who can answer this, guys? Quick. I need some quick responses, youngsters. Marketing myopia is SK. No, my dear friends, look at my answer. Now, don't go so much, my dear friends. I've given you the answer already. Smartphones. Every other smartphone, every other phones, it's a communication device, my dear friends. I'm telling you, Kodak would have never ever could have thought about this. A communication device like a phone, which can ultimately can become a smartphone and can easily have high resolution cameras and which can reduce, listen to me, the sales of cameras big time. Okay. Now, please understand the cameras which are now being sold for the last 10 15 years, I want you to observe, are all high definition cameras, standalone cameras. Please understand. Okay. It has a lot of features which a smartphone cannot offer back then. Now, so many smartphones, are trying to match with the high end, cameras and all that, Canons, Nikons, and all that. Okay. Nikons and all that. Okay. Please understand, back in those days, a mobile phone had a camera and everybody became a photographer by default. Okay. And try to look into it, my friends. The number of photo studios, how many got shut down? You check it out, my friends, last 20 years or since the inception, last 25 years, I can let you know. Look at the number of photo studios gone down because of this particular device, my friends. It's a hybrid device which has killed quite a few businesses. I'm serious about this. One such business is, my friends, studios. Okay. Yeah. And back in those days, to become a photographer, it took years together. Now, people, if they're smart enough, if they know, if they go for 1 week course, they can still become a photographer. Instantly, they can be a photographer and all that. Okay. So look at what systems can do, guys. When I say systems, it's all computational based. Okay. So that's the reality. Yeah. Okay. Try to accept that way. Okay. I'll move on, my friends. Right. So yeah, still look into it. So RAM, it's called as random access memory. Okay. Where the speed of a computer can be associated over here as well. ROM is read-only memory, where for the long-term storage, we use ROM. Okay. So it started with hard disk. Now it's SSD. Do you all agree, guys? Okay, it's SSD and all that. Okay, look at how the secondary memory can be. It's an optical disk from CD. Look at the evolution of CD there. CDR, CD rewritable CDs. Okay, read-only CDs earlier. DVD read-only CDs. DVD. Okay, we can again do RW. Look at that. Okay, CDs are no more in the picture now. It's out, totally obsolete. CDs are not there. Now you get laptops out, CD drive as well. Okay. Now pen drive is slowly giving away with zip drive. Okay. Floppy disk out of order after CDs. Okay. Memory cards, memory devices, and now we have external hard disk. Okay. And now we have SSD. Now, what's the next version of SSD, my friends? Who can answer this? What's the next version of SSD? I want some quick responses, my friends. Guys, what's the latest disk drive that we operate with? Who can answer that? Quick. What is next to SSD, my friends? Yeah, it is a solid state drive, a storage device used in laptops and all that. What is the next level of it, guys? You'll already find in laptops In the latest laptops, you'll find that. What is it? What is the next technology, guys, which is coming up? Slowly, it's all catching up after SSD. Quick answer. Server-side development and web development. Anything more? Others are really want to chip in with your answers, guys. Quick. We talk about computers, so stick on to um, drives and all that. Okay. Guys, can I get some good response from your end now, guys? Come on. Yes, HDD became SSD. Please understand. Okay. What is next now? I don't know whether you guys have heard about it. It's called as NVM. NVM with a small e there. It's called as NVMe SSDs. Yes, this is how it's fastly developing to be, my friends. Okay. And I want you all to realize this as well. Okay. So I'll move on. That's the next version of, okay, SSD and all that. Okay. So pay attention and we'll move on to the next learning now. So yes, pay attention. Got stuck up. Just a moment. Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. So these are the okay external devices that we have discussed so far. Yeah, have a good look at it. B, C, D, E, F, G, all of that are disk drives and all that. Peripheral devices, periphery means outside that we can bring in attached to a system, a modem for internet connectivity and all the switches to route a router there. Okay, all for communication reasons. TV tuner, you must be knowing it. Okay, now still observe. Now these are the major. Okay, let's say components in a system. We talk about CPU. Now we get into that a little. The motherboard, which is the heart of it, my dear friends. The expansion slots to expand the RAM and all that extra memory and all that can be done here. CMOS battery. Battery is very important. Okay, it goes through battery, all the power and all that. Cooling fan, because so much of executed tasks, obviously the system can get heated up, and cooling fan is necessary. Network card, yes, these days we have Wi-Fi and all that. Back in those days we had network card and all that. Graphics card, yes, for all the multimedia reasons we must have that. SMPS means it is basically used for power supply and all that, to store power and all that. Memory slots to bring in external memory and all that. Okay. Now let's look into software. Types of software. We have operating system, we have utility software, etc. and all that. Okay. Do you know which is the oldest operating system in the world, guys? I've asked you a question again. Can I get an answer? Which is the oldest operating system in the world? Who can answer that quick? Yes, can I get some quick answers? Deshna, all these questions, please ask the respective person. We have Sushmita here. Okay, please wait until the session is over. You can ask those questions to Sushmita. She'll preside over later on. So just hold your all your questions regarding your certifications and all that. Okay, certificates and all that. I did raise a question, guys. Which is the oldest operating system, my dear youngsters, according to your knowledge? Yes, have you heard about Unix? I'll give you the answer. It is Unix. I think computer guys must be aware about it, it is definitely unit knowledge. Okay? So quickly we'll get into it. Okay, software is what we are getting into it. Is the way software industry positioned India and our economy awesome, my dear friends. I'm telling you, awesome. India is the largest software exporter in the entire world. Okay, and the Silicon Valley of India is definitely Bengaluru, and the kind of transactions happening, okay, in the name of software exports goes into billions of dollars, my dear friends. Okay, just want to let you know, I'm moving on. Yeah, just a minute. Okay, there are application softwares. These are softwares where we use it to apply, okay, let's our computations in a good manner and all that. Okay, for example, MS Office softwares, okay, all the multimedia softwares that you can think about it. And we can also do, um, let's say, um, customized softwares. Let's say I'm running a saloon. What kind of customers will come in, how they should choose their services and all that, if you can able to customize as a software and bring it until billing. Am I clear? All of that is so good, my youngsters. Okay. So customizing a software for any particular sort of a shop to a company is highly possible these days. For example, Tally, if you know about Tally as a software, it's an accounting software. Slowly, it is slowly becoming an ERP. ERP. How many of you heard about ERP? Can you guys answer this? How many of you heard about ERP? It's called as Enterprise Resource Planner. SAP is world's number one ERP, which will combine all the departments of a huge organization or any type of organization. Will combine all the departments with one huge software, and it will all be interlinked. Okay, and all the data is stored in cloud, and one can access those data in a secured manner that way. And SAP for several years across the world is number one on ERP, and usually they pick big and large companies. Okay, not SMEs. SMEs are called as small and medium enterprises, and these days SAP is also targeting small and medium enterprises as well, my youngsters. Keep this in mind. Okay, I'm still going ahead with it. Please observe, my dear friends. And we need softwares as computer languages to be for scripting and all that. Okay, so we need machine languages, we need assembly languages. Okay, we need high level language as well. When you talk about high level languages, which is which can this language is like will combine everything in a good manner and allows executing inputs in a fantastic manner, my dear friends. And what you're seeing right now as a pyramid out there, it's called Fortran. It's not in the usage much, but slowly I'm seeing some Japanese companies are still using Fortran as a software language, my guess. And then Pascal happened, C happened, and slowly now you talk about it, C became C sharp. Do you understand? So many versions it took up, and Java happened later on. .NET, Python now rocking. Okay, so many languages came into picture. All these are called as high-level languages, my dear friends. And types of computers, you talk about types of computers, analog computers are there. Okay, and look at these ways how computers are being, these days all this data can be interlinked to a system, all of that. Okay, so from analog the computers became digital computers with a lot of electronics coming into picture, from electricals to electronics and all that, big time. Okay, and then hybrid computers happened. Analog plus digital is called as the hybrid computer. So it's a version of both. So I'll move on to the next one. Okay, on the basis of size, we spoke about supercomputers a little. Asian paints. Look at the size of a computer there. Huge. I told you guys. Okay, I've seen, not have seen through videos. I've seen. Okay, a computer can occupy even 1800 square feet. Okay, imagine. Okay, and then mainframes. The moment you talk about mainframe computers, my dear friends, you will have to remember IBM. IBM. They are the masters of mainframes even until now, my dear guys. Just want to make you guys to understand. So many aviation companies are dependent on mainframes even now. Just want to let you know. Many computers are like all the tablets, phablets, all that. Okay, we have a minimized version of a laptop as well these days. Okay. I said POS, remember point of sales in, let's say, in a supermarket where one can tabulate whatever the billing be done on a microcomputer. Now, under microcomputer comes in desktop, laptop computers, palm top. It's slowly gone away. Palm tops are gone away, so don't bother much about it. Okay. Desktop to laptops are called as microcomputers, MCs, and workstations in organizations when the stations are dedicated and fixed in one area. It becomes workstations. And spoke about some of the brands. Guys, look at it. IBM compatible computers. We have HPs, Acers. There's so many companies coming into picture these days. So keep this in mind, my dear friends. Okay. Apple Macintosh. Oh wow, Apple also revolutionized. Okay, and most of, let's say, multimedia based works are happening in Macs big time. Okay, booting is a process to kickstart functions in a computer. Keep this in mind. Types of booting: cold booting, they say, warm booting, they say. So I'll share this particular piece of information. Don't worry, guys. Uh, I mean, it's all simple things: how to shut down, how to start. You all know it, so I'm not going to spend much time on it. And that's all about it as of now. So that's the basics of computers that I want to show to you guys. I'll move on to the next one, and this time I'll start with another, PPT that I'm going to share with you guys. Please pay attention. Now this time I'm getting into a bit of networks. I want you all to pay attention, my friends. Come on. So I'm going to share this particular file. Just a moment. How systems can be connected. It's all to do with, my dear friends, it's all to do with networking big time. Guys, may I ask you a question? Which is the world's largest networking company? Who can answer that? I asked you a question. Which is the world's largest computer, networking company? The world's largest. Who can answer that quick, guys? The largest networking company is? Yes, come on, can you all answer that? Oh, certainly, thanks for your answer there. I did miss that particular answer. The first and the oldest operating system is GMNAAIO, okay, developed in 1956, but that is become redundant. That means that became useless. Okay, I forgot to add up. Okay, the oldest and still been used is Unix still. Sorry, my question should have been that. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm still looking at all your replies so far. Cisco, beautiful answer. The world's largest networking company is Cisco. Beautiful answer there. Okay. And Cisco routers are world famous, my dear guys, world famous bestsellers and all that. Now, slowly, NVIDIA is challenging them a lot. NVIDIA. Okay. Keep this in mind as well. Can't ignore NVIDIA and its growth as well, youngsters. Okay. So it's fine. Just a moment. So I want you all to have a look at this particular uh, screenshot. Okay, screen there. Computer network connects to a more autonomous computers. The computers can be graphically located anywhere, and we earlier they used wires to connect each other and all that. Okay, just pay attention. Yeah, just a moment. So yeah, it's connecting to a router. All the computers are connected to a router, and later on with a centralized system that I can show it out here. What um, cursor, my guys? It's connected to a common computer through a server, and through routers, it can be given multiple nodes over there. Okay, so I'll move on to the next line. Please observe. LAN, MAN, WAN are different ways that one can. Network in small geographical area called as LAN, or it's called as local area network. That's exactly is happening with many of the companies these days and all that. And network in a city is called as MAN, metropolitan area network. You talk about big time players, all network service providers like Geo, Airtel in our country. Okay, when they when they look into MAN, it is to connect metropolitan area on networks and all that. The next one is WAN, wide area network across the country, across the continent, across the world. Okay, network. Okay, it's been used that way. I do not know how many of you heard about the sea. They lay cables. Okay, you all heard about optical fibers? They'll use it there and connect between, let's say, ends, connect between countries and all that. Okay, so they lay the pipelines. I'm talking about the networks. I'm talking the wires. Lay it in a secured manner under the seabed. They'll take it that way so that there cannot be any interruptions or connectivity issues and all that. Applications of networks, where it's used. It is used for resource sharing resources. Okay, any application software has to be used like Tally and all of that. And information sharing. So we need to share information through internet, for example. Okay, so World Wide Web, all that. Okay, we download a particular file, we can share it with you guys and all that. For communication, for like emails, messages, etc., and all that. And remote computing is absolutely possible. We can do remote computing by accessing a computer through a network and all that. Okay, we can take control over another computer as well. Okay, grid computing is a bit one. Okay, on the scale and all that, and this is called as the topology. The network topology works out on this particular, or look at this one, my friends. Bus topology is a very common one. Ring topology, star topology. We have extended star topology because it just branches out a little, and mesh topology. There are 5 types of networking possibility, my friends, and that's what is given out here. Please have a look. I told you bus topology is the most common topology. Okay, it's like a linear bus. Okay, so one goes this way, one goes the other way. Okay, by a single cable in the middle, it's getting connected with those systems. The blue ones are called the systems there. The star topology is the most commonly used architecture in LAN, local area network. Let's say in a particular office, in a particular institution, and all that. Okay, and it resembles, my friends. We can see that. Okay, I'm just highlighting here. Look at my cursor. It resembles a wheel. Okay, so yes, when this particular, let's say, star topology, when the listen, when each computers can be connected with few more computers, am I clear? It becomes a tree topology. That's all. That's to do with topology little. And ring topology, my friends, when you have to transmit data um, within a particular address, let's say intranet and all that, we can use ring topology there. Okay. We have single ring, dual ring, and all that. Keep this in mind. Mesh topology, okay, can connect so many nodes. Nodes here are called as computers. Okay, and it is so good for, it can check redundancy, my friends, duplication, all that it can check in a good manner. Okay, this is applied upon WANs to interconnect LANs, local area network to wide area network. Mesh topology is used to connect those in a big time manner. Okay, keep this in mind. Network components, quickly we'll look into it, my friends. Okay, here we talk about SDP. Okay, how the signals are transferred through this way. Check out this one, my friends. The outer jacket, the overall shield to safeguard. Okay, the shields inside, and the wires are twisted, and that's the way they connect to SDP and all that. Okay, hub networking devices. Check out all these switches, hubs, routers, and all that, my friends. These are devices required to connect. Now, let's not go so much deep into it, my friends. This is a protocol for how to set up, okay, a networking in a properly working order. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that. We more or less come to the end of, okay. The last slide is what I'm going to make you all to look into it. Networks are applied in these areas to connect with emails, to search data through websites, on www.coms and all that, e-commerce, creating new groups, social media, everything comes into picture. Internet telephony, VoIP is called as voice over internet protocol. So that was a major technology once, my friends, in our country, VoIP. Now it all moved up to greater levels these days. Video conferencing, chat groups. How many of you realize I do not know, my friends? Video conferencing reduced business class travels in airlines, my friends. Many may not be aware. Think about it. Okay. People in olden days, they used to travel for business reasons. Okay. And they stopped doing it once video conferencing was possible because they don't have to travel, okay, thousands of kilometers. They can stay back in one place, connect through video conferencing, through VoIP and all that. And they can be able to establish connectivity that way. Instant messengers like WhatsApp, yeah, so many other okay applications these days available, internet radio, etc., my dear friends. Okay, moving on to the next point, my dear friend. This time, okay, I'll start with let's say you guys should understand what is called a software development cycle. Guys, hope it's visible to all of you guys. Have a look at this one. Software development cycle. Okay, this is what we're going to learn over here. Quick, and look into this particular cycle, software development cycle. It starts with planning always. Planning, requirement analysis we need to do. Software designing will be based on the requirement analysis, and a software will be developed, and software will be tested, and software will be deployed. This is a typical life cycle of a software. Okay, this is called a software development life cycle, my friends. Just have a look at it is what it says as well, which I've done it already. And look at the different phases of it. Just a moment. I really want you to observe this one. Okay. The entire software development cycle is given in a simplified manner. Earlier, this is just through, like a flowchart is given. I've shown it already to you. Okay. Client planning phase. Guys, observe. Client will give a requirement. Based on the requirement, okay, like seniors or top-notch people in an organization will come and sit with the respective heads of a particular client, talk to them, understand their requirement clearly, what do they want in that particular software. Okay, all those features and all that they'll speak, they'll analyze, understand, and they'll document. There's a documentation called as SLDZ, okay, software launch document. Okay, so all this it can be done and conduct feasibility study, okay, which is the best one possible for this particular company and all that. They'll do it. It all happens in the planning phase, my friends. Okay, how quality should be kept on top. There should be quality assurance to be given to the clients and all that. And what are the risks involved? I want you guys to observe involved. All of that should be taken care during the planning stage. And yes, once the feasibility study is done, uh, the approach can be much more okay linear, I call it as okay, and minimum risk will be there, and slowly we can take it for the project initiation and all that. That's what output means here, project implementation, for which I must let you know, my friends, yes, okay, test on the software can also be done. That also we'll have a look at it. That happens in analysis phase. The input technical feasibility study, okay, all the funding, what is required, all that, okay, from planning to real-time implementation can happen here. Okay, I told you about the product, okay, let's say documentation to be done. What is the project requirement? All of that is documented, and both the parties, my friends, clients and the software development company, they'll sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. They'll sign and they'll clearly say this is the requirement, this is the outcome we need from the client's end, and how they commit in terms of when we can complete this particular entire software development is what the companies will give as a promise. Okay, and based on which the funds will be allocated. Clients will pay, my friends, listen to me. Clients will pay the software development companies at different intervals based on percentage of completion and all that. I'm telling you with my experience, I'm sharing this to you guys. Software requirement specification. Okay, it's a basic documentation that we do it, and that specification can be taken for the output. Now, designing, this is where software developers will come into picture. All the design, everything will happen in this particular phase, from modules to what modules is required for the architecture. All of that can be looked deep into it. And look at these, my dear friends, just a moment. Okay, what kind of design is required, detailed designs, all of that will be looked into it. Just a moment. Okay, building on it. So with all of this, they build a good system. Okay, they need to have everything. If it is developers must follow all guidelines to make sure the developed product works so efficiently. They should have interpreters, compilers, okay, debuggers, not to disturb them at all or to be used to generate for the code. So a product can be now developed. Now it has to be tested. Okay, guys, testing matters a lot. It is to reduce all the bugs, any problems in the particular software. Guys, after implementation, if there are any bug problems with the client's end, they'll really come back so strong with the software companies, ban them hard, my friends. Okay. So all the test phase to be taken care of, from manual to automatic testing, everything to be done, making sure the software is developed in a high quality standards and all that. Okay. So now the tested program can be slowly implemented. It's called as deployment. Okay. So now the tested program software is migrated to from the software development company to the client's place. Okay. And once it's deployed, okay, it should function without any problems, my friends, because in the agreement, all such key points will be covered. So it should not bother the business. They went in for a software development. They've gone for a customization because they want to run it efficiently. So um, now one can get a feedback about the end users, how the software and all that. And that particular information given should be given out to the team which developed the particular software. And this is called as research and development. Now the next version can be created with the R&D team. Okay, the next version of the product, version 2, version 3, version 4, like that can come into picture, and always it'll happen that way, my dear friends. Okay. So that is to do with the software development cycle, life cycle, and all that. Okay. There's a few, there are few models that we can discuss quick. Iterative model, my dear guys, please observe these ones. Iterative model, okay. Iterative is action being done, okay, in a software. Okay, it's called as iterative, okay, and this is done in successive manner, making sure, okay, even if it's repetitive, it should identify the redundancies properly and try to eliminate that and still being effective out there, my friend. That's called as iterative model. V-shaped model, we call it as V-shaped model. Okay, it's there's another model called as waterfall model, and this is the extension of it. Okay, in which every other stage from planning to deployment, okay, it is very well tested upon. Okay, and if there are any roadblocks, anything which is blocking bottlenecks, okay, it can be easily identified with this particular model, and we can rectify that as well. Big bang model, guys, these are, I mean, uh, see, this is best for short term, small time projects. It's not for huge softwares and all that, like SAP and all that. No. Okay. And the next one is called the spiral model. Okay. This is the most flexible model, as people will always agree. Okay. And it is similar to the initial model, iterative, but it emphasizes on the repetition. It checks beautifully on the repetition and all that. Like iterative is quite efficient, but spiral model is the best one if you look into repetitions and all that. Yes, and improvements at each passing phase with spiral model will also be monitored in a good manner. And we have RAD model, which is called rapid application development, and prototyping models and all that. Agile models are still there. Okay. And one last time, have a look at it. This is a waterfall model where planning will lead to analysis, will lead to design, will lead to build, test, and deployment, which is a traditional model, if you ask me. Agile model is what I just now earlier let you know about it, my friends. Agile model. Okay. Now, See, in agile model, all those development details and all that will be given in a centralized manner, and every other phase will go and check and make sure the test is being done as well. And it is so functional, my friends, so functional. Okay, it goes through n number of repetitions and iterations to ensure, okay, repetitions doesn't happen. And this model, my friends, is the most happening model, I can let you know, my friends. Agile developers, they say. Still, there's a good demand in the market for agile developers and all that. So, with this, we will end our session today, my youngsters. So, thank you so much for your time. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the learning today. And thanks for your active participation again. Take care, my friends.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
it
you,
not
sir.
open
Thank
at all. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry about it. Okay. You're welcome. Yeah. Take care, youngsters. Take care.
Yeah, thank you all. We'll wind up for the day. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.